That noise in the background, well, that's skirling, and that's the noise, well, rather the music that bagpipes make. And well, where there's bagpipes, there's usually something called the Highland Games. They've been in Calgary, but nobody knows they've been in Canmore for almost 20 years. Welcome to the Canmore Highland Games.
The Highland Games are featured across the world about this time of year, and although Calgary has grabbed the bigger profile in Alberta, the Canmore Games are significant and had a history in the mountain town.
You know, we've been operating since 1991. That was our very first year. So this year is our 20th year. We're very excited to say we've lived through snow and rain like this morning, and and still we carry on. And it's been a very successful event because people love to come to Canmore.
The artists featured are among the best to perform in the games, and they raise the bar for the quality of the event.
Of players that would play right up to World Championships, for example, in Scotland, and all of the piping and drumming associations in Canada are connected to eventually up to the Royal Scottish Pipe Band Association, and they sort of govern the standards in the world. So you know, all of the judges are very high level. We've got some high level players from Alberta Caledonia Pipe Band. So competition is good and it's stiff.
Reed Maxwell is here to compete in what is a long series of games.
This is part of what we would call the Alberta Pipers and Drummers Association. So this is the end of their season. It would start perhaps back in May, and there's, you know, an event in May, maybe one or two in June, one or two in July, and then yesterday Calgary. The Calgary Canmore traditionally wraps up the competitive season, and there's quite a few people come up from over from British Columbia because it's a good weekend, you know.
The backdrop of the mountains adds much to the atmosphere of the games, but the weather leaves a bit to be desired at the end of summer.
They look upon Canmore as the premier Highland Games in Western Canada. I'm going to say today isn't a good, perhaps, picture to paint, but when the weather's correct here, it's a tremendous setting. The background just adds something to these games that you can't find in many other places in Canada or the world, I would say.
None of this dampens the spirits of the crowd, though.
Fun about the games, well, it brings the Scottish heritage and the heritage related to Canmore as well, and it brings it to the modern day and celebrates it, and gets everyone able to, I guess, enjoy the pipes and the drums and the dancing, and what can you say about this setting other than it's fabulous, even on a day like today.
The Scottish weather doesn't leave many with a kind reminiscence of home, though.
I live in Canada. I don't need to be reminded of my Scottish weather. That's why I left Scotland, you know.
In Canmore, for Shaw TV, and videographer Patrick All.